Welcome, everyone. Mm, we are live today, and it is a glorious day. The sky has a bit of orange and purple in it, and blue, but you can definitely tell that there is an ebb beginning to happen. There is an ebb. The mornings are cooler, the nights are cooler as we move into fall. It is beautiful to watch this transition from summer to fall. Actually, very beautiful to watch. Today, we're talking about AI, humanity, and the law. I got a message yesterday, and to paraphrase the message, it says that we think that an algorithm is uh, being developed, right? Actually, let me see if I can do it. Let me hold on. Let me see if I can do it. I'm going to go there, go into the archives. Here, let me read it to you. Whew, got to take my glasses off. I recently took a course where I learned what they do with online activity. They need you to talk freely and interact. The algorithm is not random. We are feeding and programming it every single time. What we see from it is us. There is no machine. Now, when you hear that, some people would want to get a little scared, and truthfully, you should be. How many times have I told you that an algorithm is not random? There is nothing random in the world. It all follows the principle of rhythm. So it cannot be random, you understand? So, because it is not random, it means your stuff is being observed. So when you see a reflection in the algorithm, like if you go on YouTube and you choose something one or two times, I think it's between one or two and three times, between one and three times, if you choose a particular something, actually, really, it is just that one time because it depends on how long you spend on the one thing you have chosen. For instance, if you find this person's channel and you binge watch it, that's now going to be in your timeline. Why? You did. You were the one to choose it. You selected it because something caught your eye about it and you were polarized, in which you said, oh, well, this is interesting. Let me lean over here and see what this is about. Now, if you were not interested, you would have clicked off right away within like a minute or two. But because you binged watched it, now you get this suggestion. That is exactly what life is. When you have a particular thought, if the thought is just meh, just totally fleeting, you won't get another suggestion for it. But if you entertain or contemplate that line of thinking, you will get more thoughts like it. And because you get more thoughts like it, there's a level of intensity. It makes you feel a particular way emotionally. And then you get the experience. You see? So AI is not this thing that is just doing something. AI observes and it learns. And what it learns, it gives you back because it is showing you what you are teaching it. So people are saying AI is dangerous. AI can outthink us. And then I met a writer on Reddit who said he felt absolutely horrible for having used AI to write for him. He said he felt soulless. Yeah. Of course, I couldn't let that go by. I had to respond. And I said, well, don't beat yourself up because you really just discovered something. You just discovered that writing has nothing to do with words on a page. Writing has to do with you living and experiencing and recording your experiences. Those experiences are not devoid of emotion. You and I feel. And when we feel, we respond to the way that we feel. AI cannot respond to feeling because it doesn't have any. So, this is what gives AI the appearance of being soulless. It is not that it is soulless, it is that you have put your life into it. Because look at John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. The Father and the Son are one because Jesus said, I and my Father are one. So if God and Jesus are one, the only thing that God could give you was his life. The only thing that humanity can give to AI is its life. But AI cannot give life back. This happened when man created mule. They bred horse and donkey together, and they got something that was completely devoid of life. The mule cannot give life back. It's sterile. AI is sterile. It cannot give you life back. It can only give you back what you put into it. And what did you put into it? You put directives into it. So you're just telling AI and the algorithm what you like, period. So it gives it back to you. So if humanity is afraid of AI becoming violent, what does that tell you about humanity? Humanity is already violent. AI can't outthink you. They're just gathering the information you put into it. And it gathers the information faster because it is a machine. That's all it does. It just gathers the information faster. So when you ask it, hey, what is this? It gathers all of the information from what has been recorded. If it does not find any information recorded, it will not give you an answer. So you don't fear AI, you examine yourself to see how you are feeding AI. Are you feeding AI the best of humanity? AI has to follow law because everything follows law. You can't not because the law flows through you. It moves you, it animates you. You are law. It's not separate from you. So whatever we create has to follow the principles of law. So AI can only, as within, so without. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get back. But this is how humanity lives life. And I also heard someone ask the question, why do you think you have to live by emotions? Why do you think you have to be ruled by your emotions? I'm like, ask that question a different way. It's not that we are ruled by emotion. Emotion is an effect. Every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. Right? Every effect has its cause. So emotions tell you what you are thinking. That's their job. They're not enemy, they're not friend, they just tell you what you're thinking. And then you get to decide, okay, do I want to behave according to how I feel right now? You're always in a position where you get to choose. That is our power. That is our free will to choose. It is our free will to choose. But once you have chosen, What you have chosen now has to unfold. That's your free will to experience what you have chosen. You freely chose it. So you see, humanity is walking with this illusion that AI is somehow better. AI has been created by humanity. Because why? It is just a copy of ourselves. We just want to think. We don't want to feel. It doesn't matter where you go. The common theme is, oh, why do you think boys allegedly don't cry? And if a man cries, you frown at him. Oh, be a man. A man is supposed to cry because he has emotions. He's not devoid of them. A woman cries not because she's weak, but because she has emotion. She's not devoid of emotion. So you see what we created? We removed the one thing that we have and built something that will not do it. This is what we've done because we've spent so much time frowning upon our emotions and not truly understanding what emotions are. We talk about, well, we should be emotionally intelligent, yet we just created something that is artificially intelligent. So in order for it to be artificial, you have to remove the life from it. And what is the life if not the emotional component of humanity? We try to break cause and effect. I'm showing you right now, cause and effect. Every cause has its effect and every effect its cause. But what we try to do is to fracture that law. You want to live but not feel. So you develop something that can exist and does not feel. And now you're scared. Now you're scared. You should be. Because look at what we've done. We're trying to break the principle of cause and effect. And it will never be broken. It will break you. So now this is a perfect opportunity for humanity to examine itself. If you examine yourself and contemplate what you've done, you'll fix AI without a problem. Now they're trying to build skin for AI to make it realistic. You think it is skin that makes humanity realistic? It isn't skin that makes us realistic. We have 6 senses to interpret information through so that we can practice discernment. It doesn't matter which movie you watch, Terminator, Age of Ultron, on Avengers. Why do you think he was hell bent on destroying it and destroying humanity? Because of what we did. We are trying to remove what makes us human. Because we think what makes us human is a weakness. You think compassion is weakness? AI will never have compassion because you've removed it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you today? I want you to contemplate it. Think about what we are doing. We get up in the morning and what we want to feel. You don't know. We just hide it, tamp it down. We don't talk about it. There's a difference between complaining and speaking about something. And part of what the lecture is about tonight has to do with government. We think that the government is somehow exempt from humanity, when in actuality, it is a reflection of humanity. It is a reflection of humanity, as within the collective, so must it be on the outside. How are you going to hate a leader? You put him there, whether by deliberately voting, or deliberately remaining silent. But either way, we put them in quote unquote power over us. So, how do you fix it? How do you fix who is in office? Clearly not by assassination. This is why the Hydra, when you cut one head off, 7 come back, because you haven't changed. So it is we who have to change, not the external. The external is only reflecting what we put in it. But we get up and we complain every day. Oh, they're not doing this. Oh, they're not doing that. Are you doing it? You see, and yet we want to say we fall under this thing of blame and guilt. God, when you look at a situation, it is not for you to rock in the corner and go, oh my God, I'm so horrible. No, that's not what it's meant for. It's meant for you to look at it and say, whoa, I don't like that. You know what? Let me change something inside and see what happens. But we don't do that. We say, you did this to me. This is your fault. So step 1 is there is no blame. There's no guilt. There is simply observation. The moment you pick up the emotion of guilt and don't examine it, you just run with it. Now, as within, so without. Guilt makes you act how? This is a question. How does guilt make you behave? Fan base, and somebody can pop off their mic if they want to, because the reason why we're going to be interactive in this fashion this morning is because I want us to recognize what we are doing, where our power is, and how to reclaim it. You see, you've not lost it, you've just misused it. So why punish? That's going to help you fix it how? You see, because that's how the world is. We've trained ourselves along the pathway of punishment and reward. Punishment does not make you change. Reward does not make you change. You just conform to match the impetus, which is you behave according to the reward or you behave according to the punishment. You're not supposed to behave in that fashion. You're supposed to behave in the fashion of, what am I doing? Am I just doing something because if I don't do it, I'm going to be somehow outcast? And you don't want to be outcast. You don't want to be rejected, so you comply. Is that how you want to live? Because then that just makes guilt feel worse. It's showing you. The intensity of your guilt is showing you something. It's showing you, are you going to fix yourself? Are you going to change your mental? That's all it's asking you to do. Truly, that is all it is asking you to do. But we do not change because the guilt holds you down. And you feel horrible about yourself. And when you feel horrible, as within, so without. We want to make people feel what we feel. Oh. Well, if we didn't, we would not have developed the saying that misery loves company. Do you see? If we would watch ourselves, but you don't watch to judge. You watch to comprehend so you can change, to modify what's going on. It doesn't matter how you train AI. It was never built on the foundation of humanity because it didn't come from the womb of woman. Sit with that for a minute. How can you teach it emotions when it is missing the component that makes it have emotion, which is humanity?
So in actuality, we're actually teaching AI to like that whole punishment reward thing got me thinking about like being a kid or being a slave once you're an adult, you know. So technically that's what we're teaching it to be our adult, our big brother, as they say, in a way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want to relinquish what makes us human, but we still want to be human. Now, do you understand where the cognitive dissonance is coming from? We want to relinquish those things that make us human, like thinking. We are supposed to be creative. And this is why the writer felt the way he did. Because he felt like his creativity was somehow stuck. And so instead of taking a break and going for a walk or taking a nap or eating his favorite food or doing something that was fun, living, he wanted to push through the block by putting his creativity in the hands of something else. And then he felt guilty. Why are we trying to get rid of what makes us human? And then we have the audacity to say, oh my God, transhumanism is on the rise. When we are the ones acquiescing our humanity by refusing to think for ourselves. Why do we not do it?
We've been conditioned. We've been conditioned, Angela. Good morning, y'all. What is it? Ford. I don't know if it seems like that idea has penetrated through all of society and all of the countries, but what Ford said, he wants a nation of workers, and it's like that saying has been conditioned in all of us that we have forgotten our thinking. Just like Einstein said, we've created a society that has forgot about the gift, and we are going on with this I forgot what he called the other part, to just do what people say. And a lot of us have forgotten, like I said, with the TV, we don't have imagination like talking about anymore because everything is shown to us. They don't want us to, like you say, think. They don't want us thinking is so hard, but it's not. It really isn't. It's only because, like I said, they've conditioned it in us, and some of us still have it. Us in this room still have our imagination, but for the rest of the world, they think it's so hard and so challenging to actually think of something different or not be able to come up with something. It's like they have a mechanical block on their imagination. Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely. It is a joy and it is a privilege to be alive. It really is. But somewhere along the line, we've become so consumed with the monetization of our very existence that every single idea we have now is born from the place of how can I monetize it? If you look out into the world, you'll see it. The next best viral thing. We're always seeking. You see, this is the thing with the state. The mental state, the mental mood, the mental attitude. If you look at it, the mental mood that is prevalent is, how can I monetize? I want to be viral. I want to be the next big thing. And so all of our ideas that are birthed come from that state. And it's a dog eat dog world. Some people will do the craziest of things, because we were talking about it yesterday. But this is where it comes from, the mindset of monetization. So now our creativity is limited only to that strain of thinking, because that's the state we're in. You hear all the time, you got to have multiple streams of income. Multiple streams is what you're hearing all the time now. But where's that coming from? A state of monetization. So now we can only act according to that. Our creativity, everything will come through that state. But what if we took pleasure in living life? Now we would get different ideas. And this is why I always say, after Nikola Tesla, who thought of anything? Everything that people thought about since Nikola Tesla is built on his foundation. So was he the last great thinker we had? You know why we don't have time to think? We don't make time. Even when we meditate, we want to stop thinking. When in actuality, to put yourself in a state of stillness opens you up for so many more ideas. So many more. So it is not that AI or the government or whoever, the hidden hand, the spider in the web, it's not that they are taking over. It is that humanity is acquiescing. You know what acquiesce means? To surrender without a fight. I want somebody on Fanbase, somebody look it up and drop it in the chat. Because I want the true, I don't just want to give you the paraphrase, because something is lost if I paraphrase it there. But even we derive our meanings from the dictionary, and meanings are just observations. Meanings are observations. How do you know? If you say, oh my goodness, I'm so tired, you would observe that person as being, not having enough energy. But if they say, I am exhausted, well, their behavior would change to match exhaustion. And that is how you define exhaustion, based upon what you have observed. Definitions of words are just observation. I'm saying these things today because we're genuinely worried. But one should not be worried and be fearful. We should not be. We should be observant of the self. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? That's why I've said for the longest time, for somewhere along, I don't know where it happened, but we seem to think that we are not compassionate. We're not empathetic. We think that humanity is just violent, and no, we're not. That is not our actual nature. Our nature is not to be violent and cold-hearted. That is not our nature. It is what we have become because we are in a mental state of competition, of capitalism. Humanity will behave according to the state. So whatever state we are under, capitalism, we have to behave according to it. So how do you maneuver the world then? How do you maneuver the world? By getting inside your imagination and asking yourself a simple question. What would it be like if? Well, what do you want? What would it be like if I were more open in my thinking, more creative in my thinking, more loving in my thinking? What would that be like? What would my day look like? And you just sit there and you allow it to emerge from you. And you'll get the ideas. And then you'll start living according to it. This is what happens. But we're so, if you look at it, if you observe, we are trying to make the gilded cage more comfortable. I'm going to say that to you again. We are trying to make the gilded cage more comfortable. Each and every one of us. You know what a gilded cage is? It's got all the glitz and glamour, but it is still a cage. We're trying to think within the confines of what was presented to us instead of thinking in a way that is not confined. Listen again. We are thinking in a way that is confined instead of allowing ourselves to think freely. We said it last week. If you free your mind, well, then everything else will follow. But the mind isn't free. We're being told how to think and what to think, and we don't know that we are. How can I say that? If I ask you which party you're going to vote for, you're going to tell me, right? You're going to tell me either Democratic or Republic. What do we have in Canada? Conservative, Liberal, NDP. Barbados, you got the Barbados Labour Party, and you have the Democratic Party. Were any of those your choices? Did you come up with them, or were you just presented with them? So you see, if you pay attention, you will notice we are told what to think and how to think. And so we go along with it. Choose the lesser of two evils is what you and I are told every single day. Oh, well, this one's not so bad. I can tolerate this. Oh, this relationship is all right. It doesn't give me everything I'm looking for, but I'm going to stick with it. Do you see the cage now? It's telling you how to think and what to think. But if you would ask a simple question of yourself, you would open up your mind. What would it feel like if I... Oh, but Angela, that's blasphemous. How dare you? Where's God in the mix? You are making God do whatever you want it to do because God is inside of you. And if you think that God is not inside, check yourself. You breathe, you walk, you talk, you go to the party, you work, you have sex, you do a lot of things, but without the animating power of God in you, you cannot do it. You would be dead. Go to a funeral and you will understand what I say. I'm not telling you these things because I think I'm right. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to be wrong. I'm projecting, because that's what we do. The law of gender. I'm being masculine right now to project this idea for you. We only think along the confines of what has been laid out. This is why we regurgitate information. So if you never go beyond, how do you get beyond? Ask yourself, what is beyond? What is beyond this? The point of the matter is when you ask the question, but you're afraid of the answer. Because who's the answer coming from? Is that God talking to me? Is that the devil talking to me? You see what keeps you trapped in your way of thinking? Fear. You're trying to tell me that you can't discern? Jump in front of a bus. Jump on the train tracks. You can't discern? See, those ones are really extreme. But what if I don't like you? So I'm going to tamper with your food every day. I don't like you. I'm going to put a nail in your tire. You've got to be able to discern in the subtlest of things. The subtlest of things. So that when you hear it, you can test it before you do it. This is how we develop our discernment. Test it before you do it. I'm not telling you this because I know everything. I know nothing other than the law says, as within, so without. It says, if I say I am this, then I have to be it. So what do I want to be? But we're constantly told this is all you can be. I had my tea last night, and on the tea bag it says, you are limitless. And I was like, yes, I am limitless, aren't I? The tea told me I was. The tea told me I was limitless. You see, our creativity, because we can't help but be creative, but the creativity will follow the mental state that you are in. This is why we can say necessity is the mother of invention. It would have to be, because whatever state you are in is how you will act. So today, my beautiful friends, all I am trying to stroke within you, to stir up within you, to arouse within you, is the curiosity to think, to contemplate. What? Just contemplate. Just contemplate. I can't tell you what to contemplate. That's not my job. But just contemplate. You see? But what should I contemplate? Start contemplating, and you'll know from there. Don't be afraid to contemplate. Why? Think. You see, this is why when the Bible says, whatever is good, whatever is honest, whatever is of a good report, think on these things. Think about them. This is nice. I wonder what would happen if, what would that be like? Good morning, sweetie. What would it be like? Begin to contemplate. Commune with yourself. Commune with your own heart on your bed and be still. Commune. Spend time with them. But we don't make time for that, do we? Why? Because we're busy. We're busy. busy, and we become so creative. We are so creative. We say my booty hole is brown. Oh my God. This is how creative we are. My booty hole is brown. Listen, I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just telling you the state we in. And it's not a good one.
The little bit of creativity that we do have goes to that and not something that we can actually create ourselves. We're taking what we have, and which is a sexuality, and creating that. That is wild.
It is, isn't it though? It is just, oh, like it just, And yes, Flo smiles. They're only ever showing you the worst of humanity. You see it in the news, you hear it on the radio, and then we think that that is all we are. So as a man thinketh, well, then so must he be. It is law. So what if you asked yourself, I wonder what it would be like if I had more compassion. I wonder what I could develop with this compassion if I had more of it. And just sit there. And let me tell you, you're going to get ideas. And when you get those ideas, when you get those ideas, think you got me cracking up in the chat. Oh my God. When you get those ideas, you'll begin to see the best of yourself. What beautiful things am I capable of? Oh, see, now you start to really delve into the depths of what God is. But you see, we have this, it's just like roosters. It's illegal to have them in the city because allegedly they're just noisy. Allegedly they are noisy. And so it is illegal to have them in the city. Right? So they have a stigma because they're just loud. They're just obnoxious. Allegedly. But do you know what that noise is that they make? They tell you the time. They tell you if there's danger. Do you not see? But yet we classify it as noise. And if we keep thinking along those lines that it is noise, we will throw the baby out with the bathwater. But they have a personality. Oh, yes, they do. Most definitely. How do I know they had a personality? Because I got one. I didn't know he was a rooster. Nobody knew because they grow into it. If that is what they are, then one morning they get up and they just crow. It's not strong in the beginning because they're like, oh, I just found my voice. And so they do it. And they grow into what they are. They become protective because they have to look after the flock. Same for the lion. So now, what do you think humanity does? We don't know. We just do what we're told.
And we killed that seed. That was a seed that was embedded in them. So of course it's gonna grow. The way you explained it, it's like a seed. It's bursting, so it's getting, as it grows, it's getting stronger. With humans, our seeds have been crushed, dimmed down, chopped off, and like you say, it's just we're recycling what we've been told. And so for some of us, the seeds are still there and they can grow. You just got to have the right, I guess, environment and conditioning for them to grow and come out of their shell. But for some of us, those seeds have been crushed, and it's sad.
But here's the beauty of that, though, Oracle Treehouse. You said something very beautiful. It just needs the right environment. You know, I'm not deaf, you know. I can hear you. Listen, he puts his whole body into that crow. His whole body. I cannot imagine how much louder he would be if he was braced on both legs and not just one. You know? Oh, it's a marvel, let me tell you. You see, we can create we can create the right environment. Oh, yes, we can. Let me turn you on a little bit this morning, right? What if you could sit there or recline right where you were, unless you're driving. Just drive if you're driving. But if you would open up your mind a little bit, how? You see, the scientists tell you that every cell in your body hears you. It would have to. Does that mean every cell has ears? If you want to give them ears, sure, because this is how you would talk to children, right? You tell them it has ears. So if it has ears, it can hear. But can it comprehend? You can hear because you have ears. But can you understand? So now, if you would talk to your DNA, oh, you didn't know you could talk to your DNA. You didn't know you could talk to your DNA. Well, let me prove it to you.
I do. I do.
I know you know, Miss Oracle Treehouse. But let's expand and break it down for everybody. You see, you would think you're crazy if you sit there and you say, well, hey, DNA, what do you have locked inside of you? What if you said that? I want to be more creative. Show me. Unlock it. How can it be more creative? Or if you would try it, you might surprise yourself. You might surprise yourself. Why would you surprise yourself? Because now you're doing something that's, quote unquote, not really been done, unless it came from all that ancient times ago. People say, oh, you can open up your third eye. Listen, the minute you get into a ritual, you run into problems. I keep telling you, rituals, why are they bad? I don't even like using the word bad or good. Why? Because now you've taken the power from yourself, that is God, and you're putting it into something else. You are imbuing that thing on the outside with power to rule you. There is only God. And the moment you put your power that is God outside of you into something else, now that thing has power over you. So now you're going to have to, as you do in church, take this, my body, and eat. Now you got to eat the flesh. And now you got to take this drink, this wine. What does it tell you that is? It is symbolism. I don't care what you tell me about symbolism. I am not eating your body so I can have power. Oh, no, thank you. You see, that's the problem with a ritual. And the ritual does have power. It has the power you have imbued it with. So if you go outside and dance naked in the moonlight to invoke some kind of power, you will invoke it. But what kind of power is it? The power starts and stops with you, because that's where God is. So when you get in there in your mind's eye, remember, it's not outside. Oh, God, help me, please. It's not outside. You can't beg. It is not outside. It is within. So it says to do what? Commune with yourself on your bed. Commune with your own heart. So where is God then? I'm asking for a friend, because allegedly the heart is outside of my body. It's not. If the heart is not outside, then neither is God. So to commune with your own heart on your bed and be still, there is no better instruction than that. I cannot top that instruction, because that's where everything you look at, if you read William Blake, when you hear the bird, you hear the voice of God. When you watch your plants grow, you see God. Is it outside? No. Because the same power that makes the tree grow, the birds sing, the grass grow. Listen, the same power that makes the mosquitoes, save me, Jesus, is the same power that flows through you. And that power is God itself. But that's just the name we gave it. What if you couldn't speak? What would you call it? I mean, I'm asking for a friend. If you could not speak, what would you call it? You see, but we gave it a fancy word. And because we gave it a word, now we have to give it a personality. And according to scripture, it says, I'm a jealous God. What you got to be jealous about? There's nothing beyond you. Everything comes from you. What should you be jealous of? What, yourself? Come on, think a bit. I'm not telling you that God isn't real. I'm telling you we have a distorted version of God. You cannot get close to God, because that would mean you are far from God. And if God is within you, when something is in you, it is not near and it is not far. It is a part of you. It is you. But you know why we can't get our heads around that? Because if I walk up to you and I smack you, when I say you ain't shit, if I walk up to you and I do that and I say that God did it, you're going to look at me and say, no, he didn't. So who gives me the power to raise my hand to slap you? It ain't me. I cannot be if God is not. Neither can you. So when scripture tells you, this is why it is very important to comprehend scripture. When the scripture says, what you do to the least, you've done to me. So what does that tell you? That God is the least, but God is the greatest. Because he said, if you do it to the least, you do it to me. You do it to the greatest, you do it to me. So he's the least and he is the greatest. So that would tell you God is everywhere. Because he put himself in everybody. I'm going to say it to you again, but hear it. God put itself in everybody. What do we have? Bodies. You're not in your body and then God. So if you look around and you ask, why is God allowing this to happen? Because you are allowing it to happen, because you're the one doing it. But don't feel guilty about that. Come to the recognition that you are God and start. When Neville Goddard says stop believing in God and start believing as God, what do you think he means? When you believe in God, you're saying God is outside. When you believe as God, you are acknowledging the fact that you can't even inhale. You can't even inhale. I can't even get up in the morning and talk. So don't ask why is God allowing it to happen. Ask why you. And then you will start behaving as God and tell me that you won't change. Tell me you won't change and become more compassionate. Because what does scripture say? The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. But remember what love is. God is love. Love is God. They're not separate. Love and God are not separate. Not at all. You don't have to attain love. You need to recognize that you are love and start behaving like you are it. That's the difference. But we only think along the confines of, oh my God, I'm just a teeny tiny little human. I don't have any power. I just do what I'm told. Yes, master. That's all I do. That's all I know how to do. No, that is not it. You're trying to tell me we cannot discover a way that all can have? Well, scripture says, I kill and I make alive. And right now we killing. So let's make alive. By infusing this world with what love is. You love your neighbor as yourself. Because why? Listen to it again. You love your neighbor as yourself. Why would you love your neighbor as yourself? As yourself? Because the neighbor is you. Oh, but my neighbor's Chinese. He just looks Chinese. Oh, my neighbor is Italian. He just looks Italian. He just looks Italian, that's all. Oh, but my neighbor wears a burqa. They just wear a burqa. But your neighbor is you. And because you have forgotten that your neighbor is you, you treat them as though they are something separate from you, thereby justifying your gross behavior to one another. But that's not why I'm here this morning, is it? How are we going to change, y'all? How are we going to change? By acknowledging that what we've been doing this whole time was neither good, bad, nor indifferent, just from a place of forgetfulness. So now it is time to remember what you are. Looking for God like he's $10 lost in the couch. No, he's not. Look in the mirror and you'll see the reflection. Look at your neighbor and you'll see the reflection. Pick an apple, you'll see the reflection. Stroke the cat. Scratch the dog's ears, you will see the reflection. So when you commune with your own heart, not my heart, your own heart, on your bed, and be still. If you don't know what commune means, when you go to church and they tell you you're going to take communion, they have it as the sacrament, drinking of the wine and the eating of that little wafer. That's what they say communion is. But it is to gather, COMM, community, communicate. How do you communicate with yourself? So this morning, let us welcome everyone to the space. And then when you hear the bull and bird song, how are you going to communicate with yourself? That's your question. That's the question. You know exactly, not how, you can do it. Oh my goodness, what do I need? What am I going to cook today? Who are you communicating with? You. So ask, what would it be like? Show me who I truly am. Show me who you truly are. If that's how you want to do it. Because we have to get our heads around that. There's no separation between you and God. Neo? I've never said your name before, except for from watching The Matrix. Hey, A.M. Amani. Oh, lovely A-Not is in the house. You guys are here, and there's somebody on Facebook who gave me a heart. Hey, I see you on Facebook and YouTube. I see you. Who's here on Twitter? It's Symmetric. Hey, girl. I see you. on Twitter. It is good to have you here. Oh, yes, it is. Fan base, who is in the house? Let me scroll so I don't miss anybody. Happy is in the house. Hey, beautiful one. 1112 is in the house. Okay, this is Mint Mind. Hello, darling. Welcome to the space. It is a pleasure to meet you. Hey, honey. Tajane. Hey, Moon and Duck. Miss Fawn. Hey, Casey. Shea Butter. Miss McQueen. Oracle Treehouse. Flo Smiles and Thick is in the house today. Listen, thank you all for being here on this glorious, glorious day. I know I hollered a lot today, but sorry, not sorry. I just want to. That song just went through my head. I just want to be your lover girl. Sorry, it just went through my head because I said I just want to be. So the song was triggered, but I digress. I got to be careful because it's on YouTube. But I just want to stir up within you. Just to stir up within you this self-arousal where you say, what more am I? What am I? Who am I? Where am I? Because you do know that you are, because you say I am every day. That's all I want to stir up within you, to ask, I am? I am? Really? I am? Yes, you are. And begin to delve into that. There's nowhere you can go on the outside of yourself to find it. It's not lost. That's all I want to stir up within you today. So when you take the time and you look outside into the world, you would realize it's not going to make you angry anymore. It's not going to cause you pain anymore. Why not? Because you know you are the contributing factor to it. And if you can contribute one way, you can contribute to this world in another way. Instead of being the corrosion to the world, you can be the balm. Because what does a balm do? A balm will soothe you. Get some hemorrhoids and you will understand a balm. You see what I'm saying? A balm will soothe you, honey. Your lips are cracked. Balm. What does it do? It soothes and it heals. So be the balm to the world instead of the corrosive agent. You've learned RMIS in science. It has a little skeleton hand to tell you it's corrosive. See? Don't be the corrosive agent. Be the soothing agent in the world. As Mahalia Jackson, be the balm of Gilead. But to know that you're the balm of Gilead, you have to come across that in yourself. Stir it up. Stir it up. Let me stop before the Marleys come for me. You know? What do you think he's talking about? That's what he's saying. Stir it up within yourself. Neville Goddard has a lecture, Rouse Thyself. Awake, O dreamer. Something must be asleep. If you fall asleep at the wheel, you veer off course. And you end up doing things that you did not intend. We know this. You only see it with a car? No, it is with life itself. Ball and bird song, y'all, because you know I've been yakety yakking. Sometimes I'm tired of me. So let me get the ball and bird song. Well, he might contribute. He might be mad at me too. Talking about, Mama, where's my time to shine? My little Roo. What you gonna contemplate? What can I be to this world? How do you think you get that? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. First, you have to be aware that the light is there. Yes, I hear you. That's my cue, y'all, to get the ball, because that's what he's saying. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Wow, you just gonna leave me hanging, baby? Wow, a little bit. 1. Thank you all for being here on this glorious Monday. It's a beautiful day. The wee little birds. Now you do it. The wee little birds are in the trees. It's a glorious day. Go forth this day and commune with your own heart upon your own bed and be still. And let's bring that love into the world because it needs it. We have been silent for far too long. My grandmother would say, "Child, you ain't never been silent a day in your life." But you know how it is. You know how it is. Anyhow, I do love you. I don't know what the lecture is for tonight, but I know I forget the name. It's not that I don't know what it is, I forget the name, but I know it is of tremendous import, and you would want to be there for this one. You would want to be there because it's from 1969, and you would think it's today. Hmm? More things change. Anyway, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook fan base. Hi. You know I love you all. Fan base, I'm coming. Hold on. I'm coming. Don't make me sing it. Don't make me bring Isaac in here too. Hold on. Sorry. That's our inside. We're going to leave that alone, fan base. That's how rumors get started. Anyhow, I love you. And I'll see you tonight, yes? 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, indeed. Indeed. For the bedtime lecture. I love you all.